restaurant when nobody else is on the Wi-Fi. Oh man, look at my hair, my hat. I just feel better with the hat on. I just wear it all day. Everyone's used to the hat, a hat. Sometimes I'll have it off and people will be like, Josh, I forgot you had something under that hat, but alright, so nobody's watching this right now, but maybe somebody will watch it later. I realized that in the process of making videos, if I have to record the video and then edit the video and then decide after, like as I'm editing it, not hate everything about it and decide not to post it. It's just better if I just do it live. That way I don't have to do any extra work later. So I did have an idea for this video, so we're gonna roll with it. So I want to talk about a future special. We've been doing good with our specials lately. We've been selling out of brisket, tacos, and burritos, and that's great. Oh no, it's telling me that. Let's see if I can switch scenes here real quick. So now you mostly see the screen and I'm small. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, so now you can see there's some warning. Wi-Fi is lacking. What is this? Open widget. Alright, it doesn't want to open. Oh, good connection now. Great. We're healthy, streaming again. Alright. But anyway, so it's good that we switched to this view because I wanted to be able to show you my screen mostly. And I'm still here with you down in the corner. But yeah, so it was my birthday this weekend, so my mom's like, what do you want? And I had these at a restaurant a long time ago and they were super nice. So his mom made me these, and she did an awesome job. They turned out great. And so I'm thinking this would be a fun appetizer. You know, we do pretty good on tacos, but we also sometimes people ask for chicken wings. I don't want to do chicken wings because they're in the fryer, and I don't like the fryer. I don't really particularly like chicken myself personally. I do like lamb, however. So these are cool. So I'm going to go through the process of thinking in terms of, you know, how would this be executed, like from what are we ordering to what is our food cost, and then what would our potential price point be, and is that, because in my head I'm pretty sure we could handle the prep and the execution and selling of it, so it's just a matter of can we get it and make it for a certain cost and then sell it above that cost because we're trying to make money, and have it be like at a price point that a customer would like hear about it or see it on a menu and be like, you know what, I want it for that price. So what it would start off as would be a case something like this. So $17.65 a pound, average 20 pounds. You can see up here that, for example, this would probably cost us right around $350. Alright, so this is like a clue, and really the weight so much doesn't matter, because like I'm imagining for the appetizer there would be 4 lamb lollipops per serving, right? And so in a typical rack, which is usually about 2 pounds, if I'm understanding correctly, there are 16 individual like possible lamb lollipops. So if we're paying $17.65 per pound, and let's say that gets us, let's say each rack is 2 pounds, and maybe I'm wrong somewhere, I don't know, but I think this will get us close for like a good idea. So let's say each rack is 2 pounds, so we're paying 17 times 2 would be $34. So we're paying $34 for 16 lamb lollipops. Okay? We're still playing music. Good, we are still playing music. I can't hear the music. I could if I put my headphones on, but I thought it might be nice because sometimes I pause, thought that it would be good for y'all to have, oh no, there's no music playing. Let's fix that. So like I was saying, this set, like, this is what we're listening to. I don't know if it's good. It's just, it's not copyrighted. So, or I have like an account so that they don't take this video down for you've infringed in copyright laws. I don't want to deal with that. So I found some royalty-free music, or I pay for access to this particular set of music. Anyways, getting distracted. So let's say we get 4 serving, and so what we want to know is what is our food cost per lollipop right now at $34 divided by 16. We're actually going to do the math here. Let's say we're actually going to do the math, we're going to make a calculator. Okay, so we're looking at $2.13 is what it costs us for each lamb lollipop. Right? Have I forgotten my numbers? I swear. No. Yeah. Rounding up. Okay. And so let's say, but it's not just going to be like a lamb lollipop. It's going to, we're going to have some seasoning on it. There's going to be other ingredients involved, but this is going to be the bulk of the price. So let's just guesstimate or give ourselves a limit for the amount of money we spend beyond the actual rack of lamb cost per lollipop. So that's $2.13 per lollipop. Okay, and so let's try to say that after we do additions, it'll be $2.50 per lamb. Okay, so we're gonna sell that per order. That gives us a food cost of $10. So let's say we want to double our money, so that means that we'd have to charge $20 per order. And I think that's not bad for an appetizer, especially one like this. And if we do a good job, it'll provide so much value beyond what they're paying. Just have somebody bring you some perfectly prepared lamb lollipops that taste awesome, and they're fun because you can eat them like a chicken wing, and so that's cool. And so that's sort of the why I wanted to do this. But we'll have to think about it, because maybe we should just stick to tacos. Maybe we should just do lobster tacos and salmon tacos. The tacos do well. The seafood does well. In my experience, we tried to do ribeye, did not do well here at this location, in this market. It just didn't. But I really like this, so maybe we'll give it a shot. Yeah, that's basically it. So that's how I think through things. And then the next step would be talking to people, seeing what other people's thoughts are on it. Talking, because this is just a random recipe. I don't know if we do it like this. We're at a Mexican themed restaurant, so we want to probably use some more traditional Mexican ingredients and come up with something just a little bit more exciting than this. I just kind of wanted to give the picture. This is what it would look like, roughly. You can plate them on those cast irons. Be like a fajita, but just with these. Alright. But yeah, that's about it. How's the stream doing? Anybody tuning in? No. No one. Like I said. Maybe I'll do more of this. I'll maybe do them with a better plan. But I wanted to also show you some other stuff.
Who's got energy?
So basically this is a doctor. So I'm like big into food, just nutrition, the nutrition side of food more so than just like the prestige of being a chef. I kind of got into the food service profession as a guide. So I was like responsible for taking care of people and taking them around. So I was also kind of interested in like, what can I feed people to make them easier to manage? And that sounds kind of messed up, but really what I mean is I just wanted the participants on trips to have energy and be focused and be able to take direction and have a lot of mental clarity and not complain. And so it's not dissimilar from being like a manager. So I find when I eat the way I do based on all these you can see over here in my recommended videos, there's lots of stuff on just all sorts of stuff. And so I just wanted to show you this little clip of a video. Basically they're talking about this guy right here, Dr. Chris Palmer. He got into, I think he's a psychiatrist or doctor. He's a doctor, he's a medical professional. And so he went all the way through medical school, had a hard time, and he sort of talked about that and then how he found a different way of eating that helped him out a lot. And now later on, after he figured out why that way of eating helped him feel better, he's found it had huge potential for a lot of his patients with very severe mental health issues.
For that, like, aren't you tired from working so hard? How on earth do these people have energy to go and play hard? And I assumed that they were just part of the haves in the world. And they were just lucky and privileged. They either had good genetics, or maybe they had good childhoods or good parents or something that I didn't have.
The kids with genuine smiles in the yearbooks.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Whereas the rest. And by the way, I really appreciate you sharing some of your personal story, because I think it is very important for people to hear and understand that people like yourself, who are extremely high functioning and accomplished, that the road was, from everything I'm hearing and understanding, very choppy internally at times, and that you've overcome a lot in order to get there. And also have been going through what sounds like a very long iterative process of trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work to finally arrive at a solution, and then make that the basis of much of the work that you're doing today for other people. I think it's very important because I think many people share with you this notion that there are indeed two groups, a happy group and then fated to be unhappy group. And it speaks to the fact that your story rather speaks to the fact that what we see is not always what's going on internally with people. And that this notion of there just being two groups, the happy or the haves and the have-nots, can't be the way that it works. And there are probably many more people suffering than we realize. And that there is an important need for tools to overcome that suffering. So I really just here, even early in our discussion, I just want to extend a genuine thanks because so much of what I hear from people is, questions about health and mental health and physical health, but that clearly point to the fact that many people are struggling to varying degrees. And even the people who are in this category of great childhood and happiness could do far better for themselves and then also for other people. So thank you for that. I want to know, at the point where you realized that nutrition can play a profound role in how you feel and operate in a large number of domains, you were still a student or a resident at that point?
I was a resident.
At that point, did you decide that you were going to explore this in a professional context?
Not yet.
Okay, so what was the journey forward into the work?
We're not going to watch much more, but
So the next step was that I just had friends and family who saw me,
but I've seen some
saw
other
that I had
videos of this
improved
guy.
my health, saw that I lost some weight pretty easily. In particular, I remember like my sister and sister-in-law, they got really pissed at me one Thanksgiving because I could resist all the pumpkin pie and apple pie and everything else. They were like, how the hell are you doing that? How are you resisting all of this food? And I said, I don't crave it anymore. I don't want it. I'm fine. I'm having turkey and green beans and that's good enough for me. So I got them to do the diet. And they too noticed dramatic improvement in their moods and energy and sleep and everything else. So within a few years, the primary thing I noticed is this powerful antidepressant effect. And now I'm, an attending physician. I've got all these patients in my clinical practice with treatment-resistant mental illness. I'm in a tertiary care hospital. So I almost never get somebody off the street with their first episode of depression. Out of the gate, as part of my career, I get treatment-resistant mental disorders. So I get people who've already been to 6+.
So he goes on for another 2.5 hours. And it's an interesting, you can, search this yourself and watch the whole thing if you're interested in it. But I thought that part was particularly interesting because it's also sort of, if you look at what we do with just interfacing with customers, he's talking about how this particular way of eating increased the quality of people's mood, sleep, all that stuff. I need to wrap this up before my battery dies. I need to recharge. I need to sleep myself. Right. So we're trying to do a similar thing at a restaurant, albeit in a very different context of making people feel good. And so if we can do that, people generally like us and they want to come back and they're happy to spend money. They feel like they have gotten value from the time and money they spent here. And so just to sort of put those ideas in your head and teach you, at least make you aware of this is a thing. Maybe you yourself need this or know somebody who needs something like this, something new to try. So here's another guy I like to listen to.
But to really screw you up a little bit, in our practice of carbohydrate addiction, carbohydrates do not.
So he's in a slightly different space, but using a similar set of principles. So whereas the guy we just listened to talk, Chris Palmer, he is a psychiatrist. He's treating treatment-resistant severe mental health issues, schizophrenia, hearing voices, severe depression to where you can't even like make it into work to tell people that you're having a bad time, like real bad stuff. This guy, on the other hand, he kind of approaches it from, he started off as like a weight loss, he's got his own weight loss journey, and what he realized is he was addicted to carbohydrates, not because he needed them as food, but because it was an emotional coping mechanism. Eat ice cream. I think everybody does this to some extent, but it was such a problem for him that he was at severe risk for coronary heart disease, heart attacks, all that. And he's a doctor, so like he went through and figured it out, and now believes that managing blood sugar and also speaking in a way that's more accessible to people who might not understand, and that's why I want to play this part of the video. Basically treating it like
not do damage. Carbohydrates do not do damage. It's our relationship.
I want to get subtitles on for this so I can learn this in Spanish. Oh, go back. This is it. This is how I'm trying to learn more Spanish words. Somewhere down here, Spanish. Alright, let's go back.
Our practice of carbohydrate addiction. Carbohydrates do not do damage. Carbohydrates do not do damage. It's our relationship with carbohydrates where we're using them as a drug for emotion support, for emotional management. And that relationship is broken. In the carb addiction model, it is our relationship with carbohydrates that's the problem. Alcohol's not a problem. I drink alcohol. But if you're an alcoholic, your relationship with it is broken. So the reason you want to go low carb for most people is for a purpose, to correct a negative. You're diabetic, you've got cardiovascular disease, you want to lose some weight. If we're going to do that, you want to eliminate triggering carbohydrates from your diet to be able to change your behavior. So the first category is, what do I drink? What do I drink? And the key thing about anything that you drink, sharp divide, yes, no, nothing that you drink should ever contain calories or carbohydrates. Nothing that you drink should contain carbohydrates. Now, if you're going to drink a Gatorade Zero, okay, it's got 2 grams of carbohydrate in it. That's okay. For a big bottle, that's okay. Okay, those are minuscule, but you want to be super careful. You want to be as close to zero as possible. For example, over here, folks, I've got a ketone IQ. Okay, the ketone IQ has got some calories in it. Okay, let me see how many. Ketone IQ has no carbohydrates, 0 carbohydrates. Okay, a bottle like this has 70 calories in it. Now, ketone IQ is something that we use early on to get into ketosis. And the reason I use the ketone IQ is because your ketones go up and stay up. We'll talk about this in other videos. But the ketone IQ, and if you're looking for these, you can get them from hvmn.com. HV is in Victor, mn.com. And if you use Carb Addiction Doc, you can get a 20%, as a promo code, you can get a 20% discount. So the ketone IQ is one of the few liquids that does contain calories that are okay to drink as a shot to get into ketosis. And in other of my videos, you'll see where I use them. So that's one exception. The other exception for calories in what you drink is I put a little bit of heavy whipping cream in my coffee, maybe 1 or 2 tablespoons in a big mug of coffee to suppress appetite. So that...
Okay, so that got through. The main idea there to take away, or the point that I wanted to make, so the whole idea, so they're talking about a low carbohydrate way of eating, and the idea there is that you switch from using sugars as fuels to fats as fuels. And without going too far to the depth, the reason that like Dr. Chris Palmer sort of found his way into this is that it's been well known for a long time that a ketogenic diet will address a lot of epileptic patients, or at least dramatically reduce the amount of seizures and the severity of seizures, as if they are eating like a very high fat diet, and so they're in a state of nutritional ketosis that lessens the severity of their condition. And then he applied that to people with schizophrenia and all sorts of other stuff, and had a lot of success, far and beyond what is traditionally considered like a good result for like an antidepressant, which actually aren't very effective at all, like compared to a placebo. That's a whole different topic. But anyways, so what he's talking about there, this little IQ, like you can drink ketones exogenously. It's a lot like drinking alcohol. Makes you feel a certain way, puts you in a certain state. You can drink the ketones rather than, and that'll give you the feeling of being in ketosis without having to go through like the days-long process of like cutting out all carbohydrates from your diet and waiting for your body to like adjust to burning fats as fuel. So if you've ever read about fasting or tried fasting yourself, you might have found after you got through that initial bout of hunger at the beginning and sort of just made it through that, you just feel calmer and things are okay, and you kind of have a lot of energy. Oh no, I gotta wrap this up. I don't know, does that mean that, I don't know why that came up. I think I'm still alive. Anyways. Yeah, you have a lot more energy. Yeah, I'm still alive. I'm alive. Hopefully I'm not wasting my breath and this is broken. But yeah, so what has happened when you've gotten to that like 24 to 48 hour range of fasting is that your body is fully switched away from burning the carbohydrates, and you're now burning your stored fats, and you're in ketosis. And so what this drink does is do it for you. Is you just drink the ketones, they're in your bloodstream, and you feel better. And so that's like a little shortcut. And so I'm gonna buy a bunch of these. So if you're in, because I'll use them eventually. I know, because boom, subtract, and hopefully you'll give it a shot too. Yeah, so. If people don't start buying these from me, or we don't like find a way to put them into the menu, I'll just cancel this subscription. And so, yeah, hopefully, good. Yep, just got the notification, and I managed to not put my address like I wanted. Anyways, that's the video. Get excited for lamb lollipops. I think they're gonna happen.